friend, what my family member, what my brother, what my sister is enduring today. You understand what they're going through. And I pray, God, that you will minister to them to let them know when they leave here today that they are not alone. They are not alone. And that's what I want to talk to you about for the next few minutes, that one word that can be so haunting. But just bear with me today as we talk about alone. Your heart feels ripped from your chest, for you have been betrayed. The fire of trial emblazons your mind with images of fear and death. You wonder if you will ever breathe normally again, if life will break free from self-imposed terror, if the morning will ever find a golden sun, or if the days will continue to offer only gray ceilings and stormy expressions. Helplessness is like a cancer eating away at any membrane of hope left. Despair keeps you on a leash, tied to a wall of uncertainty and dread. And you are alone. At least that's how you feel. It's as if you've been transported to a distant planet. There are no humans. And the moonscape properties offer little comfort in the way of visual serenity, for it is dry and desolate, and you are left to wander the sandy miles all by yourself. But what you feel is nothing new. You are certainly not alone in your self-assessment, in your mitigating circumstances of perpetuating suffering. And what you feel is what a man named Jacob felt centuries, yea, millenniums ago. It is a timeless story because feeling alone is a timeless feeling. He had to leave his family because his brother wanted to kill him. He journeyed through heat-empowered deserts. He slept long days and nights beneath the bright stars. He avoided the main streets and highways and preferred anonymity where he traveled. And all those lonely roads and restless nights and detours of happiness led him to what would be his most important encounter in all of his life. The first question for some of us today is, where is your road leading you? Where does the path of pain take you? Where does this trail of suffering lead you? Is it to a discovery or an experience of truth? Or is it to an ongoing traumatic emotional release of agony and rejection and shame? Where is your road leading you? Jacob came within a few miles of Haran, which was a small town at the edge of the foothills. He piled some stones together and thought about the soft, velvety feel of the animal skins he slept on back home. But there was nothing fancy in this place. The grit of the desert floor bit into his legs, and when he tossed about in a restless manner, the tiny granules of sand and rock felt like tiny thorns scraping exposed parts of his legs. The moon still lacked 2 nights from being full, and Jacob could tell by the angle of it that it was almost midnight. The soft glow of the moon made some of the desert shapes appear eerily luminous. Some of the boulders in the distance looked like the hunched shoulders of guarding sentinels or giants in the night. Occasionally, Jacob heard the pitter-patter of nondescript animals running through the night. He thought they could be scavengers looking for dead carcasses, and so he kept still. Jacob listened to the sleep-inducing wind whispering over the sands, and he began to drift into a deep sleep. And as he floated off into dreamland, he could hear the far-off laughter and weird sobbing of hyenas patrolling the borders of the desert, for no doubt they smelt the death odor of an animal not yet fully devoured. And he was warily thankful as he dozed off that the sharp teeth of those scavengers would not find his flesh. For many nights now, Jacob slept in a web of fear. He nervously listened to a distant running ram among loose rocks on nearby hills and thought it might be his vengeful brother in pursuit on horseback. He had watched the glowing trail of shooting stars brightly seen in the desert nights and thought, as his grandfather had said, they were to be the stars of heaven. He wondered if he might be that short-lived blazing torch, soon to be forgotten, soon to be extinguished in the blackness and emptiness of death, helped by Esau's gleaming sword, for he was on the run. He was afraid. He was alone. He may soon come to ruin. He didn't know if there would be resolve in that distant darkness, in the loneliness of the night. For Jacob is as many are today, alone. Let us lift our hands to the Lord for a moment. In Jesus' name. The question is, what are you running from that keeps you alone? Is it a secret mistake that certain scavengers in your family would be too eager to chew on? Is it a painful memory from your childhood that keeps you afoot in the deserts of isolation? Is it a recently torn apart marriage that has you sticking to yourself? Why are you alone? And in the story, it happened quickly. The little mound of rocks Jacob used for his pillow transformed suddenly into a rising mountain. Each form-fitting rock pieced in revealed foot-sized indentations. They were for climbing. But where would that climb take him? The stone ladder punctured the ceiling of human domain and entered the celestial, and out of the smoky substance of the dream, angels appeared.